This week on 49ers Cal High Sports, presented by U.S. Bank, the Moreau Catholic hoop star and the love he has for his community, and the amazing diver from Camp Alindo and how he's helping young people in Colombia.
We'll have tennis action from the Santa Clara Valley League and cross country from a big meet held on Saturday. It's all right now on 49ers Cal High Sports, presented by U.S. Bank.
Welcome to 49ers Cal High Sports, presented by U.S. Bank. I'm Robert Braunstein.
And I'm Aubrey Tolliver. We start tonight with one sport playing right now.
It's girls tennis. This is Los Gatos traveling to Cupertino a Thursday morning for this De Anza Division matchup. The Pioneers have a terrific number one. She is sophomore Gayatri Krishnan with the ace there. Another nice serve here, but the Wildcats' Alex Veravoda chops it short, just out of reach as Alex gets the point. But Krishnan was playing great, the southpaw, with lots of pace on the serve here, and then a strong forehand deep to the corner, and that's not coming back. One more for Krishnan as she has her opponent on the move. A beautiful chip shot is a winner as Krishnan takes it in two straight 6-love, 6-love. To the number two singles match with Cupertino's Arahi Bahara taking on Mira Kazwani. That's Bahara chopping it short to get the point. This was a tight match the entire way. Bahara coming to the net, and her volley is effective. The players trade the first two sets, and this one is going to go to a third and final set as Kaswani sends a scorching backhander to the corner to get the point right there. Kaswani now racing back and forth along the baseline, and her effort is going to be rewarded as the shot does eventually go out, but Bahara ends up winning this one in the third, 2-1. The number three singles match has Cupertino's Lauren Chung in the far court taking on the Cats' Emily Lombardi. Chung with a nice slice to bring in her opponent, and then Lauren rips it down the line, and she gets the point early on here. But Emily Lombardi playing very well for the Los Gatos Wildcats wins this one in two tough sets to take the match. The Cats win the team title 4-3. We talked with Cupertino's sophomore sensation about the effect of the COVID delay on her.
Well, I mean, at first it was so scary. I know, I couldn't believe that all of this was happening, and I mean, it was nice to have a break finally, but I mean, I'm so happy that we're finally playing, and I know playing tennis is just, I know it's really fun, and I enjoy being on the team so much, so I'm really glad that we finally get a chance to be back.
The Palo Alto Vikings getting pumped up for their first home contest of the season. The Vikings have a terrific number one. This is junior Iris Lee getting the ace here. And then Iris with a nice serve here and then shows off her strong backhand for the point as Iris wins the match in two straight sets. Now we take a look at Pally's number two. This is freshman Erin Lee with a forehand shot, and that one is not coming back. Erin trying to finish off the set early as she hits it across the court for the point, and Erin wins her match 6-love, 6-love. On to the number three singles match between Saratoga's Pei Huan He and Pally's Ria Deidada, and it's Ria getting the ace there. Pei Huan keeping the match close. Pei Huan with a nice shot to the back of the court to get the point. Pei Huan this time with a brilliant serve that will not be returned, and that's good enough for the point. But Ria Deidada would come out on top as she shows off here a couple of strong backhand shots. And Rita wins the match in 3 sets. Tough match there. Off to the number one doubles match now between Pally's sisters Lauren and Gwen Wong and Saratoga's Melody Lin and Shanaz Mohideen. This is Shanaz with the shot and the point. But Lauren and Gwen Wong would have control throughout the match. Gwen with a forehand shot. That's going to go past everyone there. A terrific hard shot at the net. One more for the Vikings as Gwen hits one to the corner as Palo Alto wins the contest 6-1 to go to 2-0 on the season. Here's Iris Lee talking about how this season is different for her team.
It's definitely different because we don't have like the typical team bonding events and stuff, so it's harder to do that. But I think our team is like really good this year, and I'm excited to play with them.
Stevens Creek Chevrolet brings us the Spirit Corner each week.
Let's check in on the cheer team from Palo Alto. Coming up, we dive into the pool with Campolindo star Daniel Zabronski.
And later, the BMX rider from San Jose. You're watching 49ers Cal High Sports.
Some see a grilled cheese sandwich and ask why. I see a new kitchen with a grill and ask why not.
I really need to start adding less to cart and more to savings.
Sitting on this couch so long made me want to make some changes, starting with this couch.
Yeah, I need a house with a different view. And this is the bank that will help you do it all. Because at U.S. Bank, our people are dedicated to turning your new inspiration into your next pursuit.
One, two, three.
Get ready to cheer for your next new or used car at Stevens Creek Chevrolet.
Stevens Creek Chevrolet!
We're ready to make your buying experience safe and easy. Come to our dealership to see and test drive one of hundreds of great Chevrolet cars and trucks. Or you can go online to shop, order, and have your new car delivered right to your door. So get fired up for a great deal right here at
Stevens Creek Chevrolet!
Go to SB Live California as your destination for the very best in local high school sports coverage online. SB Live brings sports fans exclusive articles, highlights, coaches, polls, and photo galleries. Get the SB Live app for the latest scores from games played all around the Bay Area and California. This season, SB Live brings you exclusive content in partnership with 49ers Cal High Sports. Follow us at SB Live CA on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. SB Live, the Bay Area's first destination for the latest in high school sports.
Look at you. No braces, all the internet you can handle. I wasn't so lucky.
Invis is not your parents' braces. Invis is predictable, less painful, more comfortable. Invisalign.
49ers Cal High Sports is brought to you by these fine companies who care about high school sports. By Invisalign, transforming smiles, changing lives. By Stevens Creek Chevrolet, find new roads. By Wingstop, order Wingstop's new all-in bundle, just $19.99. See wingstop.com for restrictions and details. And by Cupertino Electric, the company delivering power and possibilities and celebrating student athletes making a positive impact.
We are back with this week's DGDG.com feature story.
Tonight we feature Daniel Zabronski, the super smart, fearless diver from Campolindo High School. Daniel is doing great things on a diving board, but his greatest accomplishment might be his work with young people in Colombia. To stand above the pool, preparing to flip and spin your way into the water below is what excites Daniel Zabronski. The Campolindo senior has excelled in competitive diving since the 8th grade. It was then he joined the top team for his club.
So originally, when I was really young, I did swim lessons here at Sherman Swim School, and I did swim team for a while, but I thought it was kind of boring, to be honest. And I've always had a trampoline, and I was into trampolining and doing flips and stuff, and I would see the divers here, so I decided to try doing the lessons in middle school, and I really enjoyed it. And ever since then, in 8th grade, I got moved up to the actual competitive club team, and ever since then, I've been high school varsity, participated in all the meets, and just have a great time. Yeah.
Well, Daniel, when he started out, he was a typical young boy diver. He was just interested in having fun, and his form, it needed a lot of work. But once he realized he's pretty good at this sport and applied himself, he's always listened well, and that just is all he needed.
Daniel's success comes from a courage to try and fail. In diving, when you fail, it can hurt.
Yeah, I'd say I'm pretty mentally strong with those. I've had plenty of smacks, but usually smacks, misses, just stuff like that. But usually I just get right back up and do it again if I'm learning something new, or if it's something I'm struggling for a while, I'll just keep doing it until I can finally get it right. And it's just really satisfying. It's even more satisfying if I've been failing it for a while, or I smacked really hard and then I do it right.
To get better takes a lot of work, but the level of practice has changed.
So before Corona, it was different because we didn't have to do like the pods. Now it has to be separated within 2 groups. But I would do every day of the week, Monday through Thursday for 2 hours, and then Saturdays for 2 hours, and then it would be Sunday drylands for an hour and a half. But now we have to be separated into pods, so I can only do 2 days for 2 hours a week, and there's no more dryland.
Not only are there fewer practices, but fewer meets. All this has had a big effect on a diver's progress in many ways.
I've felt the loss of practice. There's also no meets this year. Like, we pretty much lost all hope for having club meets. So that does take away a little motivation that I can't actually take my skills into competition, and this is my last season also.
It puts them back. You know, this is a sport that needs consistent training. It doesn't mean you can't pick back up, but at his stage in life, look, you got to feel sorry for the juniors and seniors in high school these days. I mean, with COVID, it's delaying all of their sports, and that can affect certain people like Daniel that has a shot to get into a good university and show off his stuff, and he's been improving. So by not having this last year, you're just cutting off the top of his steep learning curve where he really would have shined, I believe, to those coaches out there looking for someone that would fit their program.
Daniel has lost his chance to earn a college scholarship for diving. He hopes to be able to walk on at a top academic school. Daniel has a 4.89 GPA.
I'm talking with a lot of coaches. I've had like many phone calls and stuff, but a lot of coaches, especially for men's diving, are like not recruiting very much. Like a lot of the schools I talked to the coaches with just recruited like 0 divers, maybe a couple swimmers to the whole swim team. So I hope to still do that, but it's been a challenge.
Daniel also works to help young people in Colombia learn English, something he has done with his family for the past several years.
My mom's half is from Colombia, so I spend all my summers in like a rural village in Colombia. We have a ranch there, and I've been going there since I was like a little kid. Like, this is the first summer I haven't been able to go, and I'm friends with like all the kids there, and I've been like tutoring them with their homework. Me and my family pay for their internet and get them laptops, and we like tutor them in English.
Hi, Danny. I'm great. Thank you.
I'm doing good. What did you do this week?
And give them English classes. And through this pandemic, I've been giving them Zoom English classes on Thursdays and Sundays to help them get their English better, because that's like a lot of them, that's like the key to making it out, is being proficient in English and doing well in school.
Daniel is proud of his work with young people and proud of what he has accomplished from a diving board. Now, as his school days spin off into the sunset, Daniel is looking forward to college and his chance to compete while continuing to shine in the classroom. Daniel, of course, speaks fluent Spanish. He's developed a great relationship with the kids that he's helping out in Colombia and still doing it virtually.
That is awesome. He's doing great work in his community.
Yeah, good stuff.
All right, Cal Hope is working to make it easier for teens to battle through the emotional stress of the pandemic.
Here's this week's Cal Hope mental health tip.
When you're at home, try and limit the high sugar and high fat foods you eat. Your body can develop a habit of eating these foods, making it hard to stop down the line. Practice winning every day by sticking to a healthy diet and reducing your stress and anxiety every day.
Coming up, the San Jose BMX rider and her success on the track. Our Albany's construction feature is next.
And later, to the tennis court with Monta Vista and Homestead. That's coming up.
People always ask me what I got on. They be like, hey, Brandon, what you got on? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, sweetheart. Don't worry about it, sweetheart.
Invis is everything braces isn't. More comfortable, fewer emergency appointments. Invisalign.
It's understandable to feel anxious, stressed, or lonely because of COVID-19. Physical separation, your own health, and the health of friends and family can weigh heavily on you. Call a timeout on work. Get a game plan for mental wellness with crucial mental health resources from CalHope. We'll help you carry the ball. Call 1-833-317-HOPE to talk to someone who can help, or visit calhope.org. CalHope, official partner of the San Francisco 49ers.
Every day, the sun comes up. And right on cue, the work begins. We start every morning, knowing full well we're in it for the long haul. Our work is a labor of love. No task too small, no moment uncherished. And although we're not often thanked, we rest knowing that our work is making a brighter future. This is more than milk.
Invis is everything braces isn't. Eating the foods you love, life uninterrupted. Invisalign.
We're the De La Salle Spartans. And this is the 49ers Cal High Sport Report.
Welcome back. Albany's construction has brought us the dirty work play in the past when there were actually games that had dirty work, but this next athlete is doing the dirty work all the time.
That's right. Stella Sincerie hits the track and never looks back. She is a hard-riding teenager finding great success in BMX. Stella Sincerie is just 15 years old and is one of the best BMX riders in the nation for her age.
I started when I was young. I was 5 years old when I first started. My brother was already involved in the sport. He doesn't race anymore, but I also had a couple friends that were already in the sport. So I kind of just came out here one day. I just fell in love with it, and I've been pretty much doing it ever since. This is my 11th year, so I mean, it's been pretty fun.
Stella's dad, Jeff, says it was pretty clear early on Stella was going to excel in this sport.
We probably figured that out the first year. Yeah, the first year. She's just one of those kids where puts her mind to something and pretty much kind of figures it out. Like any parent, you always try to tell your children, if you put your mind to it, you'll be able to achieve it. So I don't see, we've come this far, I don't see any reason to not keep going.
Started excelling pretty fast. I got into training. Like this was kind of something I knew I wanted to do for a really long time. So I just kind of went with it, and we're still training today.
Stella has won 18 championships since the start of her career, even taking home the Grand National Championship title at 7 years old.
Just this past year, 2020, is kind of when I came up like out of my shell again, because you know there's always ups and downs and all of that. So I kind of came out with new coach, all of that, started winning more often.
She has this uncanny ability to strive for perfection. There's nothing that's ever good enough for her, so she's always willing to push and drive for that next step, which makes her a pleasure to work with. I can throw anything at her, and she just continues to dig deeper and deeper to get it done.
The nag 8 of Stella Slingshot Sincerie on point. Sincerie comes into the last turn. It'll be Sincerie getting there for the win.
After a stellar 2020 season, Stella traveled back to Oklahoma in September to compete for the Grand Championships, but she suffered a bike malfunction during the race.
I'm pretty sure one of the springs on my pedal broke, so that was pretty devastating. Just considering I was sitting National 7 going in NAG 2, and that's the highest I had sat in a really long time. And then going in, like, probably the strongest I had been, and then having something happen with my bike was it was pretty sad. Coming back from something that you've worked the whole year on, and then just because of something happening with your bike, like anything in any sport, and then you come back and you have to look at it like, well, that was not me, but it's almost like you go into a depression like really fast, and then you have to come out of it even stronger than before. It's like if you don't have the people behind you, it can be really hard.
Locally, Stella will compete in races against the boys.
It pushes me a lot more. I haven't raced a local race like this just with girls in I don't know how many years. I've always raced the boys even as a young kid, so I don't know, it's pushed me more, makes me more aggressive, and then coming into racing girls, you're already used to riding with the boys.
When she first came on to my program and working with me, that she had mentioned a couple times that she wanted to be the national #1 amateur for the girls class. 2020 was kind of a dream season with the ability to continue to train with the unfortunate circumstance of school shutting down. We really capitalized on that, and she had an opportunity to compete for the national title at that point.
Right there, it's all Sincerie downtown. We're gonna go.
Moving forward, she's talked a lot about wanting to go pro and a possible shot at the Olympics, and I don't think that's without a doubt a possibility for her.
Back on the podium, Sincerie gets this one.
If I stayed in the sport, I'd go to the Olympics, which is what I'm planning to do. I'd go pro. And I could go pro as early as 17, and I'm 15 right now, so I could, in about 2 years. Yeah, I think I would definitely go to the Olympics with the sport.
Stella knows it's going to take a lot to achieve her goals of becoming a pro and an Olympian. But Stella says she's up for the challenge.
I think I've had a drive for the sport for so long, and I mean, it's the only sport that I've done for 11 years now. I've done other sports like growing up with BMX, but I feel like if I ever stopped, I would regret stopping. So it's pretty much what I live for, so I know it's fun.
Stella has high expectations for her BMX career, and with her work ethic, it seems like she is well on her way to achieving those goals.
And what a fun sport to watch.
Very fun.
She does a great job. All right, we're going to take you to some cross country now with action from a Saturday meet with two teams that are
Wilcox and Cupertino. Santa Clara also joining Wilcox and Cupertino for this three-team race on Saturday. Santa Clara's Sebastian McMahon out in front at the half-mile mark of this 2.1-mile race. Curtis Zhang, a freshman for Cupertino here, would finish in the 7th spot. Junior Charger Leo Mallon and Pushin. And there is Elijah Alexander for the Chargers and Austin Wu for the Bruins, both looking for a strong start to their sophomore season. But here come our leaders. This one's going to be a photo finish. Koji Ochino for Tino and John Cooper for Wilcox. It's Ochino who takes home that first place finish with an 11:20 time. John Cooper less than a second behind in second place. Victor Contreras from Wilcox snags the third place spot. McMahon, the first of the Bruins to finish, followed by Robert Cooper for the Chargers and Kai Meinbarger for the Vikings. The girls' race happening at the same time as the boys. This is Marcia Kipes from Wilcox finishing nearly 2 minutes before the next finisher. A 12-minute, 30-second time, and that's less than a 6-minute mile pace. Wow. Kipes' teammate Alexandra Rumford with the second place finish and a 15-minute, 15-second time, and Tino's Pragya Natarajan in third place. Kipes, Rumford, and Natarajan, the top three finishers. Elise Kwan takes fourth, followed by Morgan DeBow, Rachel Segura, and Eva Lim. We talked to the winner for the boys, Uchino, talking about that last-minute push to the finish line.
I was just really happy to be able to race, and my goal was to just try to get first, but yeah, I was just hanging on, and I was able to win at the very last second, I guess. So yeah, I think I was able to do pretty well today.
Wingstop brings us the Wings of an Angel honor each week, where a student athlete talks about their favorite teacher.
Here's Sophia Labouquet from Independence High School talking about her favorite teacher.
Yes, Miss Dodd. I love her. She's so nice. She's the best dance teacher ever. She's the best dance teacher ever. She pushes you to your limits, and she's always giving you great advice.
Our Wings of an Angel teacher will receive a Wingstop gift card for doing such a great job.
Wingstop is also honoring Terry Blanchard, a Wingstop owner who passed away this past spring from COVID-19. Wingstop will be supporting scholarships for athletes of color in Terry's honor. Those scholarships to be presented at our awards ceremony in June.
Coming up, our U.S. Bank inspirational athlete, it's Mata Filet from Moreau Catholic.
And later, we will head to the tennis court with Monta Vista and Homestead as 49ers Cal High Sports rolls along.
Are you ready to sink your teeth into a lemon pepper, sweet and spicy Korean cute-tastic mango habanero
master class in all things wings?
Yes, I am.
Are you though?
I'll take that.
All right. Get the new all-in bundle for just $19.99. Available for delivery and carry-out for a limited time. Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings.
Piercy Honda, located right off Highway 880 in Milpitas, is where you will find hundreds of new and pre-owned Hondas to choose from. Low credit score, no credit, first-time buyer? No problem, Piercy Honda can help. Find us online at piercyhonda.com to search our inventory, calculate your payments, and even complete your purchase. Piercy Honda is home to great customer service, great deals, and a more convenient way to buy a new or pre-owned Honda. Go to Piercy Honda in Milpitas.
The Guzmans were about to close on a home they adored, but at the last minute, their mortgage company denied their loan because the unusual home didn't meet their usual loan requirements. Heartbroken, they turned to Tri-Counties Bank home mortgage loan specialist Vincent Pagara. Specializing in custom loans for unique homes, his team quickly designed a creative solution, uniting the Guzmans and their home just in time. That's a perfect match. For personalized problem solving, switch to Tri-Counties Bank. Service with solutions.
49ers Cal High Sports is brought to you by these fine companies who care about high school sports. By DGDG.com, where we want you to be a happy car buyer. By the Rikes Center, where goals and dreams become a reality. By Tri-Counties Bank, service with solutions. 12 locations now open in the Bay Area. And by the Serena Group, here for good.
Hi, I'm Kathleen Pazine with Serena Group Real Estate, representing Palo Alto and the surrounding communities. I'm proud to support Bay Area high school sports on the 49er Cal High Sports Report.
Welcome back. U.S. Bank helps us bring inspirational stories each week from athletes who have overcome adversity in their lives to succeed in school and in sports.
The Monroe Catholic head basketball coach Frank Knight always tells his players to use basketball and don't let it use you. Senior forward Mata Filet plans on doing just that. Since Mata Filet last put on his Monroe Catholic uniform. This 6'4" senior has spent that time building his game.
A lot of people see COVID in a negative way, but I see it as a way to just think back on everything I accomplished and then just think forward to everything I have in front of me. So I've taken this time to really just work out, meditate, and just focus on my skills and get better.
Mata played forward last season for the Mariners. Head coach Frank Knight was looking forward to seeing Mata's role on the court change this season.
Well, if we'd had a season this year, he would have been an all-league player for sure. His recruitment definitely would have been up because he would have had a different role. He's getting better shooting the ball. The last couple of years, he was kind of 15 feet in, kind of like a driver kind of player, and now he's worked on his jump shot, worked on his ball handling a lot. And that's the tough thing about COVID for kids like him. I mean, he would have had a great year and his recruitment would have went up. But people who know basketball and trust me and have seen him play, seen film and stuff, and watched him play on AAU, they know he's going to be good. He's one of those guys who's still, his best basketball is still in front of him.
What is one of the biggest obstacles you've faced in your life?
Definitely losing my brother. Definitely losing my brother.
Mata was 13 years old when he lost his brother Hines to suicide.
It was like this summer going into my freshman year at Monroe. I was working a summer internship in West Oakland, and I remember I just got dropped off at home by my friend's mom. And like 5 minutes in, I'm trying to go to sleep. I'm tossing and turning. My mom just busts in through the door crying. At first, I don't think she's crying. I think she's laughing or something. I'm like, why is she home so early? Because she's never home this early. So I run out. She's in tears. I'm like, what's going on? She's like, he's gone. I was like, who's gone? She was like, Hines is gone. I was just like, I punched the cabinet, I broke the cabinet because I punched it so hard. Excuse me. I ran to my room. I just flopped on my bed. I couldn't believe it. Like, it felt like a dream, like pinch me, wake me up. It was a lot of emotions. It was anger, it was sadness, it was confusion. Because like the day before, he was just at the house, spending time with me, doing our thing. And the next day for him to be gone like that was just crazy. That was my best friend. He was my best friend before I even knew what a best friend was. He was always there for me, pick me up from school, just give me advice about school, life, girls, stuff like that, those typical big brother things. But he was really he was my rock. He was always there for me no matter what. He always had my back no matter what. So I miss him a lot. Yeah.
Mata says basketball is one way he gets to feel close to his brother.
My brother never got to see me play basketball. So every time I step on the court, I give it all I got. That's why I'm so passionate about basketball, because this game is really important to me. And he told me, this is my way out. This is the way to put on for the family. So every time I step on that court, I act like he's out there watching me, rooting me on. So I just play hard, and I go hard for it, because you never know who's watching.
Mata plans to take his basketball career as far as it can go, so one day he can help his East Oakland community.
Basketball has impacted me in a numerous amount of ways. It just gives me the platform to play the game I love, but at a high level. Like Knight says all the time, I could get paid for putting a ball in a bucket. Who wouldn't want to do that? You feel me? So, but also, we foresee more athletes take larger roles in society, like LeBron James, Chris Paul. It's like speaking out about social injustices, and I see myself falling into that role and stuff like that. Just using my platform to create change and stuff like that.
He comes from Oakland, so he comes from that area where he kind of wants to, he wants to change his life, and he wants to use basketball and education to do that. So, me being from the same neighborhood he was from, it's kind of like, we have an opportunity to be a springboard for him, help him get to where he's trying to go. So when you deal with a kid like that from the same area you grew up from, you kind of take it personal, you really want to kind of help him. So
playing for Coach Knight has been nothing but an honor. I look at him as more of a second father figure. He's always there for me. He's always there for his players. He's always making sure we're going hard on and off the court, and he's just always there to give us advice and stuff like that.
The sky's the limit for him, really. I mean, I'm hoping that, and I don't just tell him, I tell all our players that, you use basketball, don't let it use you kind of thing. Use it to travel the world. Use it to see things you haven't been able to see. Use it to get a free education, And when he's done, if he wants to coach, use it to get a master's degree. And if you really want to coach, use it to be a coach, right? So it's one of those things where we can use this game, to change your life. So I'm hoping he does that, but Mata's really smart. He's a poet. He writes poems and poetry. He's a rapper. He came out, he had a highlight reel. He's the only kid I've ever coached. He had a highlight reel, and they used his own music as the backdrop for his own highlight reel, right?
I feel like a dead man walking. I feel like this sweatsuit could be my coffin. Speaking on me, but you don't even know me. Young mighty else, so he never been a phony. Always been side, you can ask all my brodies. Forever locked in, something like Goldie. I be on my P's and Q's, making moves. All I see is double U's. I will never lose. Look, I got the blues like clues.
My goal is to play Division I basketball. If I had an option, I want to play at HBCU, but I just want to play the D1 in general, and hopefully go pro, maybe make it to the NBA or go overseas, and then just coach, and then can just come back to my community and coach, and just spread my knowledge and spread my love to the kids that's coming up right now.
Man, he does everything. You know what I mean? You can give him anything, and he'll adapt, and he'll be fine. So. Mata's one of those guys going to be a president of a company one day, and hopefully he'll give me a job or something.
Mata Filet is on the fast track to success, and he says it's because of those around him who set him on the right path.
My parents, my community, my city, Oakland, and all the people that helped bring me up. Like, it's more than my mom and dad. It's my auntie Kaya, it's my auntie Brandy, it's my uncle Big Wayne. It's all them that played a part in building me as the person I am. It's Mr. Kevin. It's all those people. They taught me how to be a man, and every time I step on that court, to give my all and play my hardest.
Mata is thankful for his family, his team, and community, and says he misses his brother every day. Those are all the reasons why Mata wants to use basketball as a way to give back.
And Frank Knight has done that throughout his career. Did he tell you his story about his shot when he was in high school?
No, he did not, because
he
wanted to focus on Mata being very modest.
That would be the first time. Coming up, girls tennis action as Monta Vista battles Homestead.
And later, cross country with Wilcox, Santa Clara, and Cupertino. You're watching 49ers Cal High Sports.
We are back with girls tennis from the Santa Clara Valley League.
This one with Monta Vista taking on Homestead on the Mustangs' home court Thursday morning.
Lots of great energy food on the sidelines as Homestead in green takes on the purple of Monta Vista. The top match featuring two top recruits, Bebel Yen serving to Rhea Rai. Rai in the near court with the backhander hugging the sideline for the early point. Yen serving here. This is a long point as the serve sends Rai to the sideline. Yen keeping on the pressure. She brings Rai to the net as Rai does a nice job returning several tries before Yen finally does send a passing shot past her opponent for the point, in a terrific point there. Yen with control early on as she takes the serve and ends up winning this one as the shot is just good. Rhea is a five-star recruit ranked as high as 18th in the nation. This rally ends as Rhea takes it to the corner, making it tough for her opponent to get it back. Great effort here as Rhea is running the baseline, and a couple of terrific gets to keep the point alive as the ball is finally hit into the net. Again, here Rhea gets a deep ball in the corner, and then the lefty smashes it down the line for the winner and takes the match 6-3 to 6-2. The number 2 match here as Homestead sophomore Ivy Zhan takes on Monta Vista Zara Fung. Zhan gets the point here as the ball goes long. Zhan serving now here. A good rally ends with a nice shot into the corner by Fung, and the return is wide. Fung, the senior, ends up winning a tight match in 3, 10-8 in the final set. Here is the girls' number 3. It's Mithi Moore in the near court facing Hamani Jha. Moore gets the point as she lines the passing shot past her opponent. But the match belongs to the freshman Hamani Jha as she places it perfectly, and Monta Vista gets the team title in this one, 6-1.
The Harker School honors top athletes for their work in the classroom each week, and this week's Harker Scholar athlete is Rochelle Mosley from Heritage High School. Rochelle is a star on the volleyball court and in the classroom with a 4.88 GPA.
Brought to you by the Harker School. The annual 3rd grade pajama and book drive, which took place earlier this month, collected 156 pairs of pajamas and 406 books for the pajama program, which will distribute the goods to children living in shelters and temporary housing. At Harker, transitional kindergarten through 12th grade students discover their passions. Learn more at harker.org. Coming up, the Los Altos field hockey player with a hard shot and a great voice.
And later, more from the big Santa Clara Valley Athletic League cross-country meet. You're watching 49ers Cal High Sports presented by U.S. Bank.
Some see a grilled cheese sandwich and ask why. I see a new kitchen with a grill and ask why not.
I really need to start adding less to cart and more to savings.
Sitting on this couch so long made me want to make some changes, starting with this couch.
Yeah, I need a house with a different view. And this is the bank that will help you do it all. Because at U.S. Bank, our people are dedicated to turning your new inspiration into your next pursuit.
It's understandable to feel anxious, stressed, or lonely because of COVID-19. Physical separation, your own health, and the health of friends and family can weigh heavily on you. Call a timeout on work. Get a game plan for mental wellness with crucial mental health resources from CalHope. We'll help you carry the ball. Call 1-833-317-HOPE to talk to someone who can help, or visit calhope.org. CalHope, official partner of the San Francisco 49ers.
For more than 65 years, Cupertino Electric has been delivering power and possibilities. With offices throughout California and project sites throughout the U.S., Cupertino Electric today builds renewable, commercial, utility, and data center projects for some of the most influential companies in the world. Beyond that, we are a people company. We build family, communities, and meaningful careers. Visit CEI.com today or connect with us on LinkedIn, Facebook, or other social sites to see our openings and join our team.
Devcon Construction is number 1 in the Bay Area and Silicon Valley because of trust. 95% of our business comes from repeat customers. They know the customer is our top priority. That's why Devcon was the choice for the 49ers Stadium and for the Earthquake Stadium. Devcon was also chosen when outstanding schools like Bellarmine, the Nueva School, and Mitty wanted the very best on time and on budget. Top Bay Area companies know Devcon is the best choice whether it's new construction or renovation. Devcon Construction, helping to build the best in Silicon Valley. We are back with this week's Adobe feature story.
Our Danielle Podlosky has the story of a two-sport star and a singer from Los Altos.
Alana Isenberg is a 4-year varsity starter on the Los Altos field hockey team. She was a 2019 All-League first-team selection, but Alana's talent goes far beyond the field. Los Altos senior Alana Isenberg grew up playing many different sports. The center midfielder fell in love with field hockey just like her mom.
I always grew up playing sports. I was always active. I played basketball, I played competitive softball growing up. And I started field hockey in 6th grade because my mom played at Stanford. So she introduced me to it and I really loved it. I think, as I said, I've always been an athletic kid, but I never understood what having a passion for a sport meant until I played field hockey.
Alana was a star on the field from the very start.
Alana started playing for me before high school, actually, maybe in middle school, and you could tell right away that she was an exceptional player. There are some kids that really stand out. Either they're very athletic or they just grasp the game really quickly. She was both.
Alana worked hard and was determined to make the varsity team. It is very uncommon at Los Altos for a freshman to play varsity field hockey.
She came over here to talk to me when I was training some of our students in the summer before she was anywhere close to being in high school and asked me what she needed to do to get better. And when a little kid comes over and asks you that question, you know she's really wanting to get better and is on a path to something, and that's how she struck me from the very beginning. And also, at this school, we have very few 9th graders on varsity, and it was a no-brainer to put her on the varsity team. She was better than a lot of the kids who are much older than she was already, and she's just gotten better since.
This skilled athlete also runs track for Los Altos. Alana's speed sets her apart on the field.
She's fast. She's so fast. She's on the track team. She's a very fast runner, and she's always been very fit. So that's the first thing you see. She just blazes by people, and her ball skills are so good. She has very good control.
Alana started the recruitment process at the beginning of high school.
Academics was a huge thing for me. I really value that in a school, as well as a strong Division I program. So I was focused on mainly UC Berkeley and some Ivy League schools. But the Ivy League schools tend to recruit a lot later in the process, so I was lucky enough to get an offer really early on in the recruitment process from UC Berkeley, and they were totally at the top of my list, so I went for it and I'm really glad I did.
Alana's mom went to Stanford. Her dad graduated from Cal. It's a house divided. Alana believes it's fate she committed to Cal.
The big game is always a fun time. My dad didn't play sports at Cal, but he was a sports broadcaster there, so it's just a really cool history. And yeah, there's a picture of me when I was 8 years old, and for Halloween, my younger sister and I dressed up as Oski and she dressed up as the tree, and my parents wore their gear, and it was totally random, who was who, and so it was just kind of lucky that I ended up being Oski, and that's a really cute picture to look back on now.
Alana is not just athletic, she is also musically talented. She loves to sing and write songs.
When the rain is blowing in your face and the whole world is on your case.
I started playing piano at a pretty young age, and then I transitioned into guitar, and now I play and compose on both. I guess I started taking music more seriously maybe around my sophomore year of high school is when I really became serious about songwriting. I've always loved writing poetry, so then kind of mixing music and poetry, you get songwriting. And I released my first single almost a year ago. It'll be a year in about a week. And now I'm working on recording my first EP, which will be 5 songs, so I'm really excited about that.
Alana is bringing her guitar with her to Cal. She hopes to perform her music in front of a live audience.
COVID willing, Berkeley's a great city. I would love to start doing some live things at restaurants or, bars when I'm of age. But yeah, I haven't had a ton of experience with performing because I was supposed to perform in the talent show and then COVID shut it down. But I think that would be really fun to start doing more live shows. I can play my music and some other music. So yeah, that's my goal for the next few years.
The field hockey season is right around the corner. Alana cannot wait to get back out there with her team.
To have that senior season, however short it is, I'm just so excited to be out here again with such an amazing team. I love my teammates. We have the best time together. And I've always said, even if we get one game and then it gets canceled, fingers crossed that doesn't happen, but what I wouldn't give to play one game again on this turf
Alana Isenberg is incredibly gifted. She shines out on the field.
Oh, darling, don't you ever grow up, don't you ever grow up.
And behind a microphone. Alana is looking forward to suiting up for Los Altos one last season before heading off to Cal in the fall, where she will continue to showcase her talents.
I know she does extracurriculars, she's talented in other ways, and on the hockey field you can see that she's determined, she's smart, she's a hard worker, she's a good teammate. And so I think at a place like Cal, so many opportunities, all different kinds, that she'll have all kinds of choices that she can make. She can look at different things, and I really think she's so smart and hardworking, she can do anything.
Alana posts videos of herself singing to social media. Her videos are racking up the views. One of Alana's most recent posts has been viewed over 9,000 times. Robert and Aubrey, back to you.
Check us out on social media for lots of fun content, including videos, news updates, and lots more. We're at 49ers Cal High everywhere, including TikTok.
And remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel to get updates on when new videos are posted each week. We have videos going back several years, so go to our YouTube channel to find your highlights from the past.
Coming up, Clover Sonoma Dairy brings us Deja Moo as we catch up with Mitch Haniger.
You're watching 49ers Cal High Sports, the #1 high school sports show in the nation.
49ers Cal High Sports is brought to you by these fine companies who care about high school sports. By Lexus of Stevens Creek, we get it. By Clover Sonoma, the #1 milk brand in Northern California and proud partners of the 49ers. And by Devcon Construction, build, design, perform, sustain.
Back to the big cross-country meet at Los Altos. This one is Lynbrook taking on Los Gatos. Arian Shaw out in front for the Vikings from the very start of this 2.1-mile race. Junior Theodore Lay right on his heels. Shaw and Lay coming down a straight here. Los Gatos sophomore Jack Fan sitting in third place, followed by Ethan Lynn and Rahul Jones. Shaw way out in front for the final stretch. He crosses the finish line first with a time of 11 minutes and 10 seconds. Lay finishes in second at 11:15. And Fan takes third for the Wildcats with a time of 11 minutes and 23 seconds. Lynbrook boys with the best average time to defeat Los Gatos. Here is our winner, Arian Shaw.
Having the opportunity to race is always welcome, and it felt really exciting to get out there again after a year. So I think it was awesome, and I'd really like to thank Scaval for giving us the opportunity to race. I know a lot of people and a lot of leagues and a few teams don't get the same opportunity, especially with the times we have. So I think it's really awesome that we're still able to race, even though we may still be in a pandemic.
Now on to the girls' race. Lynbrook senior Gabrielle Tran out in front, followed by Sunny Lee. Both Tran and Lee winning all league honors last season. Los Gatos freshman Abigail Zolo and sophomore Sophia Tao not far behind. Coming down the straight, Tran still in the lead with Lee in second. But the Wildcats are closing the gap. Tao with a late push passes Tran for the lead and sprints to the finish line. Tao takes first for Los Gatos with a time of 13 minutes and 5 seconds. Tran finishes at 13:07 to take second for the Vikings. Zola finishes in third with a time of 13:22, an impressive finish for the freshman. Los Gatos girls take this one over Lynbrook. Here's Sophie Tao post-race.
Overall, I had to make sure I didn't go out too fast because when it's shorter, sometimes you feel like you should pick up the pace. But I think it was good that I started off kind of slow and then sped up only near the end.
It's Deja Moo. Clover Sonoma Dairy helps us look back at high school stars now grazing in professional fields.
This week we feature Midi baseball and football star Mitch Haniger. Mitch was an all-league outfielder and pitcher for Midi, leading the Monarchs to the CCS title game in 2009. Mitch was also an outstanding receiver on the Midi football team with 1,500 yards receiving and 10 touchdowns in 2 seasons on varsity. Mitch went on to have a fine career at Cal Poly, named All-American before being taken as the 38th pick in the Major League Draft. Mitch has played for Milwaukee, Arizona, and now Seattle in the major leagues. After an all-star season in 2018, Mitch suffered a string of injuries, keeping him out of all of 2020. Mitch is reportedly back in great shape and at 30 years old looks to come back even stronger this year.
No doubt about it. Lexus of Stevens Creek brings us the Volunteer Award, part of the Lexus of Stevens Creek commitment to promoting volunteerism.
This week's Lexus of Stevens Creek Volunteer Award goes to Ethan Reeder from Stewart Hall High School in San Francisco. Ethan works with the San Francisco Recreation and Parks Department, teaching baseball, skateboarding, and archery to kids all over the city. This summer, Ethan plans to bring baseball to equity zones in San Francisco to help neighbors and community partners come together for the kids. Ethan talks about being able to give back to the next generation.
Especially during this time where a lot of kids may be struggling with staying inside and not having something to do, just really being there for them, and just I can't take away the expressions on their face with the activities that we do. It's great to see. It's really like a feeling like no other, and it's an experience that grows on you, and it's just something that it's almost something that you can't live without. It's something you have to experience.
Coming up, it's the Service by Medallion Play of the Week. It might be this play, but we'll see.
But first, here's this week's training tip by our good friends at the Raica Center.
Hi, I'm Coach Jack, and today's training tip is box walkovers. Lauren here is going to get into a plank on her hands. She's going to walk her hands across a 3-inch box, one hand at a time, and then she's going to come across. While she is doing this, she is keeping her core tight and keeping her hips as square with the ground as possible. And that is box walkovers.
We're thrilled to have the first Service by Medallion Play of the Week segment for this school year.
We count down the contenders, and then we will name this week's Play of the Week from this past week.
Play of the Week.
Our first contender is Rio Rai from Monte Vista with 2 fantastic returns. The second shot off her opponent was a scorcher, but she returns it and gets the point. Our Play of the Week comes from the Santa Clara Valley League cross country meet. Koji Uchina from Cupertino. Watch this exciting finish. Uchina pushing hard for his first win of the season and for the first Play of the Week.
That's the Play of the Week, and that's our 49ers Cal High Sports for this week. Thanks for watching. I'm Robert Bronstein.
I missed that.
I do too. I've been wanting to do that for so long.
All right, and I'm Aubrey Tolliver. Join us next week. We'll meet the St. Francis basketball star using her experience with a learning disability to help others. We will see you then.